Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, or good morning, from wherever you may be in the world or in the country. As I do a completely impromptu, random, I just decided to do it like 5 minutes ago, broadcast. So, hello Rega, thank you for being person one to enter the chat. As the title says, I'm going to do a bit of a review. I've done some beta testing on the Horizons release, and it came out yesterday. And so far it seems to be going down pretty well with other people, but I'm going to have a review of it myself, give you some idea what I've thought about the last sort of few weeks of testing, how it's impacted me, what I've thought about it, and just do a bit of a sort of comparison over sort of this time last year when the full game came out. I think it was a week ago tomorrow. A year ago tomorrow, on my birthday. Yay! Did stream earlier, but got some issues with Twitch, so people couldn't watch, taking a break. Fair enough. In that case, I'm very glad that that I'm not overrunning your stream, so cause that would be impolite. So basically, yeah, this is Horizons. I let the full intro and the loading screens run as I started the stream, so you could see how, if you don't have access to Horizons yourself and you're watching this, then you'll get a look at how it looks. And hopefully sort of run through and see what's happening. I'm a bit concerned that there's still a server name at the bottom there. I'm not sure that should be there. I think that's maybe something they should be removing at some point, but never mind. So I'll just nip into the game, into my own private group as normal. Now, yeah, a review of Horizons. So basically, the new features of Horizons are legend, as the statement goes. I'm doing this completely off the cuff. I've not written any notes for it. I've not even read anyone else's review, so that I don't steal anything from anyone else. I've studiously avoided Drew's written review. I don't do much of the sort of long form writing at the moment on websites and so on, so I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do it the way I usually do stuff. I'm going to do it as a video. So yeah, Rega, I've been streaming for a year as well. Nearly been streaming a year as well. I'm not actually entirely sure how long I've been streaming for. I don't actually remember when my first actual proper stream was. It's certainly not been a year. Not like the proper like Selezen Plays branded ones. I think I did a few test streams quite earlier on, but so the easiest way to check is have a look at YouTube, isn't it? Have a look at my YouTube videos and see when the first one I actually uploaded was. I'll just have a quick look at that then. So let's have a look at the last page of my videos. Over 120 videos now. So the last page there, 4th of March 2013, is the Elite Encounters launch video outtakes. So it certainly wasn't that. Elite Encounters video, ED Beta, GTA 5. Brandy Runs Test Part 1. So that would be the first time I actually did a proper stream. Would have been 29th of December. So it's nearly been a year. It actually nearly has been a year. The first Elite Encounters video update was January 2015, believe it or not. And that was just a random one just to see if it would work. So it has nearly been a year. Wow. I'm quite surprised by that. So anyway, I'll get the review done. Hello Edwin, how you doing? Thank you for popping by. It's not going to be a long one because I have tea to make for people come sort of 7ish, half 7ish. So yeah, the review. So a year ago, Elite Dangerous came out, was finally released to the world, full release. Basically went well. Everyone finally got to see the ships and the colour of space, and all the lovingly rendered planets and stars and suns and all that sort of stuff that just looked absolutely fantastic. And basically, as far as I'm concerned, blows every other space-related simulation I've ever seen out of the war, even at that point. And a year on, if I am being completely honest, I do not think it has been matched. There is still nothing else out there that I would say looks as beautiful as this game does, as far as the representation of the universe is concerned. Limit Theory was starting to get quite close. But Limit Theory kind of stalled for a bit and is still pretty much in early beta stage, but has the potential to look fairly good. the close-up, even last year, looking at the close-ups of various different objects in space, I still think that a lot of that, the light sourcing, the reflections, the mapping, all of the video effects and everything else were just absolutely visually stunning. You could look at this game with the sound off and play alongside, and it would absolutely blow your socks off. And there are still moments in the game when I just stop and I go, wow, wow, and I just can't do anything else for a little while, just sit there and gape. And over the year, a lot of improvements have come to the graphics, the audio itself as well. The audio is second to none as far as I'm concerned. I have never played a game that is so atmospheric, but then I've played many games, so yeah. So all the updates through the year have sort of paved the way and built the framework for the game. We've introduced CQC, we've introduced wings, we've introduced more multiplayer aspects, we've introduced mining, or more ways to do mining. We've introduced limpets and collectors, different ships, different types of station, the ability to do your own station, community goals, and everything has just gone to expanding the framework that Frontier built last year, up to the point where we're now looking at version 2 of the game, which, to be honest with you, is pretty much a new game, because the planetary landing side of things has changed the game. Basically, it has made it a completely different beast. You still have the core, which is flying around in ships and spacecraft and going around planets and space stations and so on, but you also now have access to planets and the surface of planets. Airless planets at the moment, fair enough, but as has been said with so many things about Elite, it is a framework. It will be expanded. It will possibly be expanded during this year. We don't know yet. But the potential is there to make planetary landings on atmospheric planets, domed colonies, all that kind of stuff will come. It may not come this year, well, next year now. It may not come in 2016, but it will come because the groundwork is now there. So how well has it been implemented? Well, the last 3 weeks has been the beta for it, so my review of it is based pretty much on that. I think that the planetary surfaces and everything that's on those planets is nothing short of stunning. I think it has been very well realised, and to go from a standing start to something the extent to which we currently have is, I feel, nothing short of absolutely astounding. So many different things in this game, and I'm in a pretty good system to actually go down and actually let's have a look at the surface of a planet while I'm talking. I'm going to nip down to Orang. I'm in an Imperial system at the moment, which is odd because I've spent the entirety of the last few weeks in a Federation system. You need to add mission sharing. Yeah, that'd be a good thing to see. I quite like that idea. And groups. Well, what's wrong with groups? I've never had any problem with groups. But then I don't use them very often, but I've never had any issue with instancing in groups that I've been part of. Open I don't play very much because I like taking full resolution 4K screenshots. So basically, that's that. You know, I don't play open for that reason, and for the fact that I don't particularly like being interdicted and blown out of space for no apparent reason. So there you go. Now, new skins. I've actually just gone out and bought myself the Vibrant skin pack for the Type 7 because I quite like the Vibrant skins, so I thought I'd grab myself some for the Type 7. But I've also just realised that we got the Black Friday pack as well, didn't we? So I can have my entirely black ship, which I think I'm going to go for. How are my badges looking? Combat mostly Huns, Community, Explorer, Lavecon, Skull. Dunno. Back. I'll just leave it as I am. Hard points. I'll give a bit of a look around my black ship. Exit. What I do need to do is fit a planetary landing pack, don't I? Planetary approach suite. Do I have one fitted? Yes, I do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fit myself planetary vehicle hangar. Which now pushes me above my bloody power use limit. That's irritating as hell. What's my I've got the biggest power plant I can get and the biggest power distributor I can get as well. It's a bit of an arse. Interesting's been okay for me, depends on people's hardware on their end. If they have a shit router it won't help. I have a wireless router. I wouldn't have seen how the router on this end would have any effect, because essentially you're sending your network packets to a central location. Last time, quite some time ago, we were trying to one, I was trying to play in a group, yeah, that was very, very back. Very, very far back when it first came out. When Wings first came out, but I've not had a problem for a while with it, I have to say. Yeah. Well, it's happy. So what was I saying? Yes. I've never had that happen. If we got lucky and could see each other, we could play for a while, then suddenly one popped outside. I've never had that happen to me. Never, not once. But people that haven't popped into the same instance way back when. And if you're in a busy place in open, then yes, it can be a problem. But I always play in a group, so if there's people that are playing, my instance only contains people that I want in my group, so I've never had an issue with people dropping out or there being limited space or reaching max capacity, because I'm not as popular as some of other people who may have had these kind of problems. As far as not as far as things like in-game friends and stuff like that, rather than actual real friends. I'm not that popular there either, but I don't mind. Right, enough of this sounding sad. Review. So. Yes, when sort of the beta and now we're dropping into the full game, I have been very, very pleasantly surprised by the quality and the infrequency of the dropouts or problems that have been had with the game. Well, I can't really say how unlucky you've been there, because I've never had that problem.
Ship released.
Raise landing gear.
Engaged.
Retracting weapons.
Raise landing gear.
Retracting weapons.
Okay, that's odd. Raise landing gear.
Retracting all weapons.
Okay, that is a bit strange. Engage super cruise.
Engaging crews.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
May have to raise that with Paul. That slight problem there with the voice pack there. Jazz to the bridge.
Jazz, you're required for duty.
Acknowledged.
Raise
Awaiting
landing.
further instructions.
Raise landing gear.
Landing gear. Landing gear up.
Deploy landing gear.
The landing gear is down and locked.
Okay, that's fine. Dark to the bridge.
Dark, you're required for duty.
Acknowledged. Awaiting further instructions.
Deploy landing gear.
The gear is down and locked.
Raise landing gear.
Stowing weapons.
Landing gear up.
Retracting armaments.
Gear up. Gear up. Astra to the bridge.
Access permission received. Stand by. Interfacing now.
Raise landing gear.
Landing gear up.
Minus to the bridge.
Minus, you're required for duty.
Acknowledged. Awaiting further instructions.
Raise landing gear.
Landing gear up.
Vasco to the bridge.
Vasco, you're required for duty.
Acknowledged. Awaiting further instructions.
Raise landing gear.
Gear coming up.
So, just to continue the review for a bit while I'm in the middle of testing this stuff. So here's where planetary landings, sort of, you see the metal for it. You see how it works and see how things go. To take myself away from... Oh, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Landing on the dark side of the planet, which is a bit of a shame. You know what?
Orbital flight engaged.
Target.
Locking target.
Yeah, so the nice thing that I've seen about planetary landings and horizons and all the new kit that's coming into it is that it is very, very pretty and it's very, very intuitive. My review of it would be that I think they've done an absolutely fantastic job, and you can see where they've actually put in enough space to have other things that can be done. So you've got spaceships here, you've got ground vehicles, but you have the capacity, using the same technology that they've put into the interface, to be able to use things like ground vehicles or aircraft or hovercraft or sea-going vessels, because they've used the artificial horizon and they've made everything lock into using a joystick, or you could use a wheel as well, or a pad, but using the ship's own sort of artificial intelligence, if you want to call it that, to control these things. Then they've left it open for very, very easy slotting in of different vehicle types. So I think they've done a very good job. They've laid a framework. Again, they've done what they've proved themselves to be very, very good at, and they've laid a framework for what can come next with the first iteration of the next generation of Elite Dangerous play. So you've got everything in place for when you want to put other types of vehicle in. You've got everything in place for when you want to put planetary landings on atmospheric planets. So you've got the atmospheric handling physics is pretty much there. All you then need is the concept of atmospheric flight and atmospheric resistance, and you've got it. You've automatically got, at the moment, I think you've got some kind of either gravity or mass related sort of bounce back from your controls. So I think the physics engine is in place and already in a very, very good place to have other things in the future. So yeah, I think they've done a very, very good job so far. I haven't seen anything that I don't like about Horizons as of yet. The missions that they've put in, I think, again, are very, very intuitive. The point of interests, which is where you can locate things on the planet's surface, and the way that you can navigate between them, it's a little bit flaky, a little bit fluffy, but it seems to work. Now that I actually understand it after Monday's stream, and some kind people on the internet give me a little bit of instruction. You see that? That was some natural resistance from the ship there, pushing the nose up. So that is the basis of what could be used for atmospheric flight. So yes, I like that. It's intuitive, it's easy to pick up, it's easy to learn. And at the moment, with this bit of push up, trying to, like, the planet itself trying to push my nose up, it feels like I'm flying a flight sim. It feels like I'm flying Microsoft Flight Sim or X-Plane or something like that, having to do the little manual corrections so that the ship's systems or the plane systems and flight surfaces can work a little better or work a little less efficiently. So I'm actually stopped, aren't I? Should be moving. I'll be getting somewhere then. So I mean, yeah, the little changes they've made to the way that the SRV works. I think the ground control is a little bit flaky, but then on a low G world, I suppose you would have a difficulty controlling. But I had thought that they were going to put a control system in that would mean you could use the thrusters on the wheels, on the wheel hubs, to keep you on the ground and give you better traction. But that doesn't seem to have been either implemented yet or implemented to the full effect it could be. Either that or I'm not doing it right. Simple as that, really. So, objective review. If I was a newcomer coming to this game for the first time and I wanted to see how planetary landings worked, I think I would be quite impressed. It's intuitive, it's easy to work it out. There's a lot of things you have to actually do to make it work, so that may be a little bit off-putting for somebody who's maybe just coming into the game for the first time. The amount of key bindings has again increased by a ridiculously large amount. So you now have your ship's main controls, you have your ship's alternate controls, you have docking controls, you have overrides, and you also now have your SRV controls that you have to make sure that you manually bind. You just find me, you bastard. You did. Son of a gimp. Deploy landing gear.
The landing gear is down and locked.
This is how you land. You basically just float around until you find something that says alignment OK, and then you drop your ship down, and that's you landed. Simple as that. Frontier, one thing I did worry about in Frontier, you had a hell of a lot of trouble trying to actually get landed. You had to make sure that you were lined up with the ship, lined up with the planet. You had to follow the entry path in, and then you didn't have really any way you could kind of adjust your speed very well. And it was quite difficult. I didn't like it. But now, that was easy as pie. You pick a space, make sure it's level. The chip tells you if it's level or not, so you just jink around a bit until you find a bit that's level enough for your landing gear, and then you plop it down. And then it's as simple as picking a ship, picking a vehicle, and then clicking deploy. Now the interior of the ship hasn't been rendered as of yet, so we have a bit of a seamed transition. to go from ship to ground. And there you are. A landed ship. A landed black awesome ship. It does look like it's kind of floating a bit there, doesn't it? It maybe is. Now, driving around. I mean, that just looks lovely. And you listen to it as well. You listen to the dust kicking off the wheels. You can actually hear hitting your hull as you drive around. The rendering of the surface is lovely. Little rocks scattered about everywhere that you can, if you can find the right type, you can mine. You shoot them and they give off bits and pieces. And just the rendering of planet against sky. And then your ship moodily sitting there in the background. And of course the old debug camera. As you see all the stuff that's going on. I mean, you've even got reflections off the ground of your rear lights there as well. So they've thought of a lot of different things. They've got refraction very well done. They've got shadowing very well done. They've got the rendering of the little buggies, so there's a little bit more detail than you can get a little bit closer and see a little bit smaller vehicle than you would do if you're looking at a ship. And it just looks absolutely gorgeous. And there's that moody shot of your ship against the horizon, which I think is just awesome. I'm going to take a photo of that just because I can. I just think it's lovely. I think Frontier have done a really good job for a out of the box version 2.0. It looks absolutely stunning, and it plays very well, and it's engaging. And contrary to what some of the whiners on the forums have been saying, I think it's very, very immersive. Other than using obviously the debug camera to sort of break your immersion, if you like, then having just the way of driving around just looks really, really good. And yeah, transitions very well. You've obviously got your. I mean, just looking at that, you've got the refraction of light from the lens flare from the lights, but you also have the shadow coming off that rock, and it's all rendered very, very well, I think. So looks wise, I think it's stunning. Sound wise, again, I think they've pulled a major rabbit out of the hat for the sound, because you feel like you're on a planet surface. The sound is great. You can get the rumble from your wheels. You can feel and hear the different surfaces as you drive over them. You can hear the different noise from your tyres on the ground. Okay, yeah, I know it's in vacuum and you're not meant to be able to, but you know, they do try to render the sound so that you have got that experience there, because it'd be a pretty boring game without that soundscape. And there you have it, really. My review: if you haven't bought Horizons and you want Horizons, then buy it. If you like that sort of game, if you like the sort of thing where you can jump from one sort of vehicle into another and drive around on a planet's surface pretty much freely, then go do it. Just go do it, because you will not regret it. You'll not regret it. I do like it, as you can probably tell. So I also love the fact that you can do this with your ship. Bye. Pooh. Gone. Yeah, as you say, Adrian, if it was realistic, you'd be in a soundless game, which would be boring. So in order to get my ship back, I have to kind of leave the area of the settlement, so I'll have to leave that behind me and drive off. Leo to the bridge. Leo to the bridge.
Leo, you're required for duty.
Acknowledged. Awaiting further instructions.
Now, still to come. Whoops. Upside down, aren't I? Still to come with Horizons is the looting and crafting system. So you can basically go and pick up objects from the ground in the game and then go make stuff with them. And you can do that by essentially targeting certain types of rocks. This little scanner in front of you that's going around like a sonar is a wave scanner, and those little blips at the bottom, a little line like that denotes that there is something it's detecting, something that has collectible material rather than just basic crappy useless rock. And you basically just drive towards the lines, and they will sort of coalesce into one big line, which tells you you're getting a decent return. And then the little lines will break down into smaller lines, and as they get smaller and smaller, that means the closer you get to something you can collect. And it works. I've tried it. I'm not going to give it a go tonight. Take care, Rhaegar. I'll be doing the same myself in about 5-10 minutes. So yeah, as I say, you've got a big line that's now come together. Those will coalesce into one long line round that scanner, and then it'll narrow down to things I can collect. Collect it, and then you get a little menu on your side. If we just stop for a sec, go down to the side menu. You also have new things under inventory. So you have SRV cargo, which tells you what you're carrying in your cargo base, which is stun canisters. But materials is things that you can pick up from the planet's surface. So you can shoot rocks, pick up little bits of pebbles that go around, and then your little vehicle and your little ship can use those bits and pieces to synthesize objects or items. So you can restock your ammo, you can repair your SRV on the go. So like what I've done is I've actually kind of rumbled it and rolled it a bit, so I've got 89% hull, so I can use bits and pieces that are lying around, collect enough bits and bobs, and I can repair the SRV automatically using synthesis, which is nice. It's a bit immersion breaking because you're collecting things and then assuming that there is some sort of magical fabrication facility at the back of your vehicle that can stick everything together and make it all work properly, which is a little unrealistic given the size of the thing, but I like it. I've actually noticed there's quite a lot of you can see the tiling on this landscape. That's actually pretty bad. Look, it's very pixelated. You can see like lines of tiles on there, which is odd. I didn't see that in the beta. Unless my graphics settings aren't set properly. Then they should be the same as when in the beta, to be honest, so I'm not entirely sure what that's all about. Yeah, interesting. What's the lights off? Main lights. Full beam. Noticing that Geiger counter type noise, the more of that collects, the higher pitched it gets, then the closer and more significant a contact you are getting. So with that, there should be something collectible just in front of me. And if your front view screen shows anything there, you'll get a little target and reticle around it like that. Target.
Target locked.
And then your ship will automatically lock on. You blow it up and little bits get ejected off like that. Target.
Target locked.
Target.
Locking target.
Deploy cargo scoop.
Deploying cargo scoop.
And then you just scoop it up same way as you would do in space. And all your rubble there belong to us. And as you pick things up, and as if they're new, then you get a little thing for discovering it. Target.
Targeting.
Target.
Locking onto target.
And that's it. There's more stuff around here. So over there, I'll find more stuff. So that's how that works anyway. So you can drive around and collect stuff and all that. You can also then recall your ship. You get 30 seconds to cancel it if you don't want it to happen. And then it'll pop down out of the atmosphere, out of the air, out of space, sorry, and come and pick you up. So this is the interior of an SRV. So as you can see, quite a nice cockpit layout. Good to see the detail they put into it, like the wheel tracks and the dust that comes up off the ground, and just it makes it look as if you're in there. I do like that. I think they've done a very good job. So to end my review, I would say that Frontier have done a fantastic job putting this update together. And I think it's very good. So I would give it 8 out of 10 for pretty much everything across the board. There are a few things that need to get sorted out. There are a few little idiosyncrasies that I don't quite like, but that's my personal opinion. This is a single person's review, so it doesn't meet everything I want. Not yet anyway. I think essentially what knocks it down for me is the difficulty in controlling the buggy on surfaces. Sometimes they don't have the degree of control that I think we were kind of promised when they said they were going to put thrusters on the wheel hubs. So we'll just need to wait and see how that goes. But for everything else, I can't fault it. I think I'm very excited for what's going to happen through this year. I'm looking forward to the multi-crew options. I'm looking forward to the commander creator. I'm looking forward to the looting and crafting systems. I'm just looking forward to pretty much everything, really. I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing experience. If it lets me back on the ship. Yeah, so the vehicle bay, as it's called, is so expandable as well. Everyone's hoping we're going to get new types of SRV, which Frontier have said is likely to happen. See, there's a bit of a problem with because it's the debug cam, because it's essentially an out-of-game experience. The debug cam, it does tend to clip into the planet itself when you landed, especially the bigger ships like the Type 7, sorry, which starts the camera underneath. But never mind. Never mind. So yeah, a little bit of clip in there. Yes, all in all, again, as I said, I like this. I love the game. I love the content that's been put in, and I love the concepts that are coming in, and the potential through the year for what else is going to come with it as well. I think it's all very, very good, and very, very exciting. Raised landing gear. Raised landing gear.
Stop all thrusters.
Raised landing gear.
Retracting landing gear.
And then obviously the mechanic of getting off the planet is go ballistic. Engage super cruise.
Engaging super cruise.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Did we have the buzz there again, did we? Oops. Difficulty transitioning into hyperspace. Or super cruise at least. Because it's busy with all you damn Horizons players enjoying themselves. Yay. So as soon as it's transitioned back into hyperspace, I'll draw the stream to a close. Ooh, missed call. That's interesting. No, it doesn't want me to leave the planet either. It's going to disconnect me in a minute, isn't it? Matchmaking server could not be found. Oh well, anyway, I'm going to finish anyway. I'm going to draw the stream to a close. So yes, that was my review of Horizons.
Dave wants to be a pirate.
Okay, that was my review of Horizons. I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, positive. Few bugs still to be worked out, but on the whole, I think it's an absolutely brilliant update. It's a very worthy start to the second year, and it's going to bring a whole lot more new content that I think everyone's going to enjoy who is a big Elite fan. It's going to open up the parts of Elite that we wanted opened up last year. And hopefully it does it very well. It has so far. I'm very confident so far, and I say a huge thank you to Frontier for bringing out a fantastic update, and hopefully a fantastic year of continual updates. So take care to you, everyone, and I'll leave you in Super Cruise, and speak to you soon. If I don't see you Monday, if I don't see you beforehand, I shall see you Monday for the Monday night stream, which will be the last one before Christmas. It'll be the festive stream. So hope you have fun, guys. It's also going to overrun with the official Elite Dangerous Christmas stream, which is going to be a 24-hour extravaganza, hosted by Ed Lewis, who's going to sit there for the entirety of the 24 hours apparently, but with guests popping in and out all over the place, and hopefully I'll be streaming at the same time. Hopefully I can pop in and say hi to him at some point during that as well. So yeah, keep yourself informed on that one. If you're watching this on YouTube, pop over there, and well, if you nip onto YouTube and follow their stream, I couldn't tell you the address right now. I'll try and put it in the comments for the video. Yeah, if I don't see you before, I'll see you Monday. So take care and cheerio.